You are listening to the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast following a tough 4-3 loss on home ice to the Winnipeg Jets. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Pillar as always and recurring guest on the Postcast, friend of the show at Lalim's Martian, who had boots on the ground tonight. So we're going to mix things up. Martian, go to you. You had the boots on the ground experience. What was it like tonight at the CTC?
I'm going to tell you what, guys. As a fan, I don't feel like I got ripped off at all. It was a great time to be out there tonight. It was a really fun game to be at, to be honest. Like, it was back and forth, a lot of good action, a lot of big hits, a lot of good saves. It was pretty much anything you could really ask for. And as my friend Kevin Hemana is saying in the chat right now, we had the fan of the game tonight. This kid was an absolute electric factory, guys. You should have seen this guy. He's probably like a early 20-year-old guy. He might have been even younger than that, but he was dancing around. He had all the newest dance moves. You know, he was getting the crowd going. I swear he could have been a hired professional. He probably was, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But he, like, at one point literally ripped his pants off, and he had Sen's underwear on, and he started dancing around. He had like tearaway pants. It was insane. So, I mean, early Sen Central standout here is going to that guy. And if you guys get the chance to put him on as a Sen Central citizen, we don't know what we could be in for here, because this guy was an absolute mutant out there.
Yeah, we got to get that for sure. Right. Early Sen Central standout. Pilsy, what do you think of tonight's game?
Yeah, like Martian said, entertaining game. And I thought even though Sogard ends up on the wrong side of it, I thought he played pretty good for his second NHL game. He had to make a couple good saves on the power play, and Hellebuyck ends up being the better goalie. I was saying to you guys earlier, it's very similar to Nashville's games where Saros just shuts the door. And even though the Sens outplay a better team, they can't beat a hot goalie, and they end up just barely missing it. But you got to shout out the Sens. That was their best look 6-on-5 that we've seen all year. They had those Jets players on the ice for over 2 minutes, and Jets had a couple chances to clear, but the Sens stood strong at the line. So they didn't get the goal they needed. Timmy was close, but it was a good effort. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, that was definitely the closest Ottawa got. That bang play where it was almost like Norris shot off the pad looking for the rebound. He got it, and Timmy just extension. You got to give Hellebuyck some credit there for sure. And it happened after the momentum swung. Really, when the start of the period, Ottawa brought it back to 3-2 in the first minute. Brady Tkachuk with his first of 2 power play goals in that third period. But even when Kyle Connor made it 4-2, which he did in the last game too, but it was 4-2 Ottawa when he scored in the third period back in Winnipeg. But when Brady scored with 6 minutes left, an absolute beauty, baseball swing right on Jay's opening weekend. Perfect timing for that. And the ref had a perfect view of it too. He was standing right there. So I was impressed that the review didn't last longer than it did. You think in those situations they're really going to try to nitpick and get the protractor out and everything, get the high jumper out. And that was just an awesome goal. So you get a highlight reel goal there. They push hard at the end, can't convert pass. So kind of a perfect tank loss, no?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, if there is such thing as a perfect tank loss, like I said, I feel very satisfied as someone who's in the building tonight. So I can't complain there. Pilsy.
Yeah. Well, I also want to touch on, and people in the chat are saying as well, Will Scott and Derek Lee, who obviously good buddies of the show. They're mentioning like Travis Hamonic, if you look at the game score, all that, it wasn't his best night, but he was also paired with Victor Mete, who I think was by far the worst player on the ice for the Ottawa Senators. He was scratched for what, 8 straight games, or was it 18? Feels like forever since he's been in the lineup, but I don't know why they made the move. Obviously, Del Zotto had that one giveaway at the offensive blue line against the Rangers, but that wasn't the difference in the game by any means. So nope. I didn't understand that. I went back and found your free MDZ, tossed that one a like again because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't understand that. He didn't do anything that. I mean, I even gave him a downward on my Senator stocks, but I didn't think that would be a thing that would. Everybody had a bad game that game. You know what? Is his leash really that short? Right? Like, this is an NHL veteran here we're talking about. This guy's actually been playing solid. Like, him and Hamonic have been a great pair. They've been gelling. Why are we messing with it now? Like, just let them roll together here and gain some confidence. It's perfect. Like, well, it was a fine scenario. I don't know why you're throwing in now Victor Mete, a guy who's requested a trade with 13 games left to go. What's the deal, Ross?
Only thing I can think of is there's been a period of like back-to-back games. Like there hasn't been like 2-day stretches in the last 2 weeks. So you finish it off with the back-to-back. Maybe you just try to get some fresh legs in there. That's the only thing I can think of, because other than fresh legs, there's nothing.
And if that's the explanation, then fine. Okay, that's fine. But
fine at best, though, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's just making a change just for the sake of making a change, and clearly it didn't work because Mete scored the first goal against. Like it was just kind of a centering pass, and he gave it the old one-timer right in the back of the net past Sogard, and you just hate to see it. It's such a momentum-killing goal, especially on home ice, especially after you've played well in the first period and done enough by opening the scoring early. And the momentum shift, right? We talked about momentum goals. Ottawa got a pair of them tonight, and you could certainly feel the building get pumped up, especially when Norris scores in the first period, his 32nd goal of the season. So to give up one with less than a minute and a half left, it's just such a deflating play going into the intermission. And they came out strong. They came out strong in the second, but they gave out a goal there they took a penalty after that play too, which I didn't like. Who took that penalty at the end of the first period? Not to name names, but Artem Zub holding the stick penalty with 2 seconds left in the period. That you just can't really take that one.
No, we're starting to notice a bit of a trend here. Actually, have you guys noticed Zub has been taking a lot of calls in the last few games here? He's taken a minor every game in the last 3 games here now. So, I believe that's the case. Definitely last game. If not the third one, then I apologize for being incorrect. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's been taking a few minors per game, I think. So, that's not a trend that we want to see out of Zub here.
I think he's missing his partner, Thomas Chabot, a little. Not that Brandy played terrible, and Brandstrom actually has 4 assists in his last 6 games after having only 5 assists in his first 31 games. So he's definitely turning it up here, and you got to give him stick taps there. But from going to a guy that like Brandstrom that is stepping into a number 1 defenseman role, like he's often the guy with the most minutes on that D-core, when Thomas Chabot is used to leading the NHL in ice time, it's a bit of a stretch. So Zub probably feels like he has to pick up a bit of the slack and finds himself a step behind the play at times. So that's the only thing I can think of for why Zub's getting penalties. Because when he was with Chabot, like Zub hardly ever took penalties, and he's getting the toughest assignments all the time. So there's the difference.
Well, not only that, like Eric Brandstrom's the guy who we harp on as the guy who takes too many penalties. The one he had tonight was not a penalty. Like
you took the words out of my mouth, Ross.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that interference call was ridiculous. We were all like, oh, okay, the Sens were on the power play. They're just trying to enter the zone. And the next thing you know, there's a penalty call. And we're all like, what happened? Like there was Jets fans behind me and they're like, I didn't see anything. I'm like, neither. They say interference for Brandstrom. I'm like, oh, like, classic Brandstrom taking a minor at a bad time here, la la la. And then somebody pulled up the replay and they put it in front of me and they were like, do you think this is interference? I was like, oh, I can't believe that was the call. That was crazy, man.
Oh, that was absolutely brutal. So you can't blame him for that one. But all in all, I'd say an entertaining game. And now there's only 10 games left in the Ottawa Senators season. So hashtag tank watch, I think, is well underway. We'll touch on that. We'll get to our Sen Central standouts from this one. But people are asking, Martian, were you on the Jumbotron in the third period?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was on there.
Of course, Mr. Hollywood. The camera can't avoid him.
Actually, it was hilarious. It was weird. Like, I was just sitting there. Me and my buddy, we were sitting there, and they started doing the fan cam thing. There's no cameraman around us. So I was like, why would I get up and dance right now? And then some kid came out of nowhere, and he was like, let's get up and dance, like some Sens fan or whatever. And then next thing we know, I'm up. We're just moving a little bit, and then the camera's on us, and we're on the Jumbotron out of nowhere. It came from the sky. So like, I got dummied by the other guy I was talking about earlier, though. Holy, that guy, like, was electric, out of control. I was just doing like that's a little jiggy with it, right? And then next thing you know, like, and then boom, this guy comes out of nowhere, rips his own pants off.
Well, why didn't you just one-up him?
Well, I was off the screen at that point. I wasn't getting back on because this guy was
tough act to follow.
Yeah, they didn't take the camera off him once it was on him. They're just like, "You're the winner."
Yeah.
We'll give you a second star performance tonight. First star for me, it was Brady Tkachuk. Let's go through the scoring summary real quick, especially for those we're recording the postcast a little late. Appreciate everyone. The chat's always on fire. We love that. But if you're listening to this on your drive to work, the Senators open the scoring in the first 2 minutes. Josh Norris off a beautiful feed from Brady Tkachuk. It's Norris's 32nd goal, Tkachuk's 30th assist, the first time he's reached 30 assists in his career. And then Nikolai Ehlers, well, off Victor Mete, gets credit for his 25th goal of the season. Assists go to DeMello and Paul Stastny. So tied at 1 after 1. The Jets take the lead a minute 47. Funny enough, the Sens open the scoring a minute 48 in the first period, a minute 47 into the second. Pierre-Luc Dubois on a power play from Connor and Pionk. Then Paul Stastny made it 3-1 a few minutes later. That goal assisted by Ehlers and Scheifele. Scheifele then left the game after a big hit from Parker Kelly, did not return. Brady Tkachuk scores in the opening minute of the third period on the power play. Assists go to Colin White and Tim Stutzla. Colin White really liking that jam play in front of the net on the power play. It's working. Kyle Connor, things are working for him too. 42nd goal of the year on the power play as well from way outside the face-off dot. He was basically hugging the boards.
Danny Heatley all-star one-timer there.
Yeah, the rock star zone for sure. Yeah. Assist to Pierre-Luc Dubois and Nikolai Ehlers. So have you heard the name Ehlers a little bit? He was all over the ice for Winnipeg, much like Brady Tkachuk was.
He was all over the stands too, because there was Ehlers jerseys everywhere.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was definitely the most prominent jersey I saw from Jets fans. Yeah,
fan favorite. And then I'll let you boys pick up here because I already said my 2 cents. But Brady Tkachuk, second of the night, 26th of the year, assists from Norris and Brandstrom. That one we're gonna see teed up on Sports Center, Pilsy, your old stomping grounds.
Yeah. I mean, he basically was playing t-ball there as that was smacking it out of the park. And how about 8 shots for Brady in this one? Like he was on an absolute mission. So yeah, of course, Brady Tkachuk is a great choice, Ross. I'm deciding between 2 people, but I'm going to go with Josh Norris because he opens the scoring. He gets an assist. He's starting to get more assists these days. He had 4 shots himself, played about 21 minutes of ice time, and he has been really hot since coming back from injury, guys. I was looking at his hockey reference. In the last 20 games, he has 22 points. Like, it just, like Ross, you tweeted, death taxes and Josh Norris scoring a goal. Like, he doesn't miss. Like, he very more often than not, he scores a goal every single game. Like, it's wild. So definitely, I think Josh Norris deserves some sick taps.
Yeah, he's automatic, eh? So Ross, you took Brady as your standout?
Yeah, did you guys see me get absolutely roasted for my take from my own account? Oh my God. The amount of 10 follower Draisaitl profile pictures that were getting after me were unbelievable in this one. I tweeted out best NHL goal scorers in Canada. 1, Austin Matthews. 2, Kyle Connor. And 3, Josh Norris. Yeah, I might have forgotten about Edmonton. I don't really care.
Ross,
just having some fun.
That's a good tweet. That's a good tweet.
Thanks,
that's
buddy.
A fine tweet.
Thanks, buddy. Triple digit like. So, we'll take the L's with it. But I've been on an absolute blocking spree. If your profile picture is Draisaitl, McDavid, Matthews, Caulfield, or Suzuki, it doesn't take much to push me over the edge.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I welcome those people. Bring them on. I'll scrap them in my own mentions. Let's go.
I know. Yeah.
I got time.
I should have tweeted this out from. I should have tweeted this out from Send Central. That's why I have Send Central. I like to keep the shit posting to there a little bit.
Yeah, so you can attach me to it.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
poor Pilsy. It's dragged in the mud, just like Ross is like Brady Tkachuk dragging you into battle. You have no choice, sir.
Hey, yeah, it's good leadership sometimes.
Yeah, it's worked for us for sure. Definitely. But
okay, so you got Tkachuk, Ross.
Yeah.
I got Norris.
Pilsy's got Norris. So Brady with a goal and 2 assists. Norris with a goal and an assist. But Pilsy, I didn't hear you mention his face-off percentage, so I'm not sure you're done talking about him.
I mean, I do have the face-offs pulled up here.
Of course you do.
How did you do? Oh, yeah, 10 for 18, 56%. So not bad. And while we're doing face-offs, I know he doesn't look great out on the ice, but when he doesn't have to skate, Chris Tierney, 6 for 6, 100% in the face-off dot. So as long as he doesn't have to move north-south or east-west, he's just in one spot. Hey, effective guy.
You can, I guess you can make a career in the NHL just taking face-offs, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah. No doubt.
I'm
go ahead.
kind of half joking. I'm only half joking there because he
makes over $3 million, so he's doing all right.
He's doing great. I'm happy for him. But like, holy crap! Sometimes I was out there and just shaking my head. I'm like, how is this guy out there right now doing this? I started like pointing it out to people in my section and be like, hey, just watch 71, see if you know he's skating around, see if he does anything worthwhile or of impact, and it just never happened.
6 for 6 in the dot, Martian. Come on.
Other than that,
wow.
So is he your Central standout? That's what you're saying?
I hate doing that. I always do it. I can't help it. I always shit on Chris Tierney, but
I know you do. It's part of your brand. It's okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Make him your standout then. I dare you.
Okay, so no, my standout is actually someone else I shit on all the time, and it's Eric Brandstrom. And not a very on-brand standout for me, but from where I was sitting, and I was on the defensive zone for the Sens. I was in 119, so I had a good view of the back end for 2/3 of the game, and Brandstrom looked pretty good to me. He had a few kind of gaffes out there. He had a couple good stretch passes as usual. He had the one assist, and he was one of very few players on the Sens team tonight who had a plus rating. So I mean, you kind of left me no choice there because there's not a whole lot of other guys I'd want to go to, but Brandstrom I think is a good standout here for me tonight.
Yeah, that's good. I thought he had a good game, especially on the power play. He was helping snap it around there. Yep. Sens go 2 for 4 on the power play. I still don't know if I want him long term, but whatever. He's a player. He has abilities that can help a team, but he also has abilities that
I just don't know where he fits, right? Like with Sanderson here now, like where does he fit? Unless he really becomes a right side left shot defenseman, he's going to be stuck on that bottom pair.
Yeah, I mean that's not the worst place for him in my opinion.
He's probably only get better too, right? And if somebody gets hurt, then he can jump in and kind of do a good job. I think plugging that hole out. I don't hate the idea, that's for sure. I mean, his trade value is so low right now. Why would you bother getting rid of him?
Yeah, and if you're looking at the shot attempts when they're on the ice at even strength, Eric Brandstrom led the Ottawa Senators, while tied with Josh Norris, each with a 66% shot share. Artem Zub right there as well at 62%. I'm going to give one more shout out. Maybe not. Actually, yeah, I will say it's a standout. Tim Stutzla making his return. He had
he was my next guy too, Ross. Yep.
Nice. All right. Well, he had an assist and also just did a little deep dive. That was his career high tonight with 7 shots on goal for Tim Stutzla. Had 6 3 times previously in his career. Never 7 shots on goal. And oh boy, did he ever get so close to putting one in the back of the net. But he still gets a point. Is that a continuation?
5-game point streak, Ross.
That is okay. Does a point streak count as a point streak? If
I think Tkachuk's on a 4-game point streak.
Yeah, but no, because the Rangers game, he wouldn't have got it. It was Watson from Kaslik and Kelly, I think.
Oh, did that?
Timmy didn't play in the Ranger game though.
No, but he's talking about Brady.
Yeah. Sorry.
That was.
But with Timmy, I'm asking, like, if you miss games with injury, is it still a point streak?
Yeah, definitely. I would say.
Yeah, of course.
All right, yeah. We'll count it.
Yeah, and he was feisty out there. Like that highlight clip that they had on the broadcast and Everyday Sens tweeted it. But him just cross-checking guys, finishing his hit.
Yeah.
Like he was Timmy was getting pissed off. And I'm sure he's pretty upset about that narrative that Brendan Gallagher slandered him with in the media and saying he's faking injury when he had to miss 2 games. So it's nice guy Timmy is gone. He's playing with a bit of an edge here, and I love it.
Well, people in the comments, I'm sure, heard. Obviously, we're preparing and then talking about this. Yeah, real shame. 11 likes. What's going on here? Wake up, everyone. Just smash the like button. It's all good. Apparently, I mean, I saw Timmy was at the podium. Apparently, he was asked about those comments, and Stewie's lauding his maturity answering those questions. So I'm sure more will come, and that sounds like a conversation we'll get into on tomorrow. Tomorrow's Locked On Senators. Will helping out here saying that Gallagher is a veteran. He respects him in his opinion, but he's got his own opinion, and so do we. So we'll leave it at that.
We certainly do.
For sure. Yeah. Should we also? I like teasing guests on the postcast.
Yeah.
Do we have enough faith in this one, Pilsy? I think we do.
I'll let you decide. You do.
I don't
the
even know
tease.
who you have. This is a
All
live
right.
reaction. You guys usually get the inside scoop.
I'll give you a little hint here. It's going to be, I believe, our 9th first round pick. We'll be on the show.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is it Brady Tkachuk?
No, that'd be good. We're gonna
That
leave
would be great.
the
Tyler
NHL
Boucher.
guys. No, but Boucher will be back on the show. We're gonna line that up for right before OHL playoffs. We're gonna get a little hype train for that. This is a new guest, so I'm curious to see how it's gonna go.
Okay, who is it? Let's hear it.
Lassie Thompson will be joining us this week on
Hey,
Locked On
yes,
Senators.
Tom
okay,
Mom.
now I remember.
Yeah,
You're talking about
yes.
getting one of
Let's
the.
go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
one of the Finns. So we got Lassie lined up for this week. So we're stoked about that for sure. We'll get the Tom Bomb. We'll see if he's heard that.
Yeah, man, that's
how
gonna be
he's
fun.
how he switched up his game too, man, because he was an offensive dynamo in junior and in the WHL. Why did he decide to go back to Finland? How that helped him round out his game and all that good stuff. And when he knew Roby would be a hell of a player. We always hear these connection stories, right? But he was playing with him when he was drafted. So it's always a great connection. So we'll have some fun with that a little later on. No, Stewie, it was not Brian Lee, although he is the original Nodak Sen. Him and
It
Brandon
wasn't Jim
Bachenski.
O'Brien. It's not Jim O'Brien.
No. Although I would love to talk about him in about that goal where he had the little drop pass to Kyle Turris in 2012. I thought about trying to DM Julie or Kyle after they respond to that and be like, "Hey, Kyle, you want to come on?" But like, he's an active NHL
That's
player.
got to be an
another team.
off-season thing. Yeah,
It's got to be.
You know what the other? Actually, I was just thinking about Jim O'Brien real quick. Just New Year's Eve in the World Juniors tournament against Canada, he scored that clap bomb goal. That was probably his other big goal of his career.
I don't even remember that. No.
Oh yeah, I remember
I
that.
don't remember that one.
That's awesome.
I was at that tournament, so I remember a lot of weird little things.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. That was a great time. All right, cool. Well, any last notes on tonight's game? It was a 4-3 loss to the Winnipeg Jets. Power play goes 2 for 4. This is a game where the Senators probably deserves a bit better of fate, bit better fate. They had more scoring chances, more shots on goal, and I thought carried the play a little bit more. If we're looking, where's the old expected goals, everybody's favorite? The Senators, 47%. So I guess if we're just going off the nerds, then the Jets did deserve to win this game, but I would argue a little bit different. That being said, there's 10 games left in the season for Ottawa now. Obviously, April 23rd, that's a must-win game against Montreal. But beyond that, I think we're entering tank watch territory. Like, is it time to start following the Philadelphias of the world?
Hey, wait, should we do a tankathon right now?
Yeah,
we said we were gonna with 10 left. So,
all right, let's do it.
Okay, 1 second. I think I can.
Do we all do one
screen,
or
actually.
just? Oh,
no,
man.
unable. I can't.
I haven't run this thing in so long.
Tankathon. For the rest of the podcast, I'm going to find a way to actually share my screen next time. But for this one, you'll just have to follow along. And for those who are just listening in the car or wherever you are, then you'll be able to follow along here just fine. So as it stands right now, the Ottawa Senators have the 6th best odds at the first overall pick. And you know what? Second would be just as good at first for me. Do you guys have a preference between 1 and 2? Because like now with the emergence of Timmy at center, with Josh Norris, with Shane Pinto, with Ridley Gregg, all coming up. And then Mark Haslick seems like that perfect 4th line center.
Yeah, they're not desperate for a centerman. No.
I don't think they're desperate for Shane Wright. And if they go up there first overall and don't take Shane Wright, we're going to have to deal with all that discourse again.
Yeah, which I mean, we're used to at this point.
I think I'd like to.
No, you have to. You take best player available at first overall, and it's crazy not to.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying.
Don't even give me the option. I'd rather the Sens go second.
Yeah, let them make the mistake. Yeah, like Carlo Koliakovo in his fantasy hockey draft.
What do you do?
You guys see that? He traded the first overall pick for nothing so he could go second. So
why?
So that he didn't have to make the hard decision.
Nice.
That is unreal. Nice. That's unreal. All right, let's you guys all have it pulled up. Everyone else, pull it up too. Tankathon.com/NHL. And I want you to put in the comments where you have the Senators on your first pick. Do not spin it more than once. That is as sacrilege as it gets. Are we going to go one by one? Who wants the first spin?
Let's do one by one. You start it off, Ross.
Sorry. As we get to starting it off, the order is right now: Arizona, Montreal, Seattle, New Jersey, Philly, Ottawa, Columbus, Buffalo, Detroit, San Jose. That's the top 10.
And Ottawa plays
now.
all those teams other than Arizona. That's the crazy thing with only 10 games left.
Wow. So
Right?
it is tank watch season.
It's tank watch season, yes.
It's tank watch season. And with that being said, the spin is in, and the Senators move down to 7th. The Buffalo Sabres jump 6 spots to the 2nd overall pick. All right. So we're not doing official results. We are going to keep a tally when we do this at the end of every show once the odds are set.
Yeah.
All right. So young Zachary, love that. 2nd overall.
Woo.
Martian, give us the next spin.
Okay, here we go. We're simming. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. I got Ottawa moving down 1 spot as well here.
Yeah,
Arizona won the
that's the most
lottery.
common
Detroit
thing.
moved into the top 2.
All right.
And then, Montreal.
Detroit deserves to move up after years of being bumped down. I'll allow it.
All right.
All right. Here we go, boys.
As you're spinning, Pilsy, former 7th overall picks include Darnell Nurse, Matt Dumba, Mark Scheifele, Jeff Skinner, Nazem Kadri, among others.
I have no movement for the Sens, just some swaps in the picks above. So 6th overall.
Former 6th overall picks include Sean Monahan, Mika Zibanejad, Nikita Filatov, and Derek Brassard, and Milan McCulloch as well. So you are going to get a wide variety of players there because there are some busts there. Whoa, Peter Forsberg went 6th overall. Would like to talk to the 5 teams who passed on him. All right, so we got 1 6 and 2 7s tonight for the Tankathon spin. The Ottawa Senators fall 4-3 to the Winnipeg Jets. We'll have plenty of time to discuss who the Senators will pick in the draft and who they won't pick in the draft as well. We're also going to get into the conversation about Brady Tkachuk tomorrow, about what his ceiling could be as a point-producing player, because it wasn't that long ago. It was this season when his contract got signed. The haters were saying you signed a 40-point player to that contract. Well, can he hit 60? Can he move beyond 60? That's something we'll discuss tomorrow on Locked On Senators. Martian, final thoughts.
Can he score 30
this season?
Yeah.
He's 4 away.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He's got lots of time to go here. He could easily score 30.
That's
a nice milestone for Brady Tkachuk, I would say.
That would be.
Hell yeah.
30, and if he gets 30 goals, he cracks 60 points because he got 30 apples. Math guy. That'd be nice.
Yep.
Yep.
So final thoughts for me. I'm happy with the effort that I saw. I like where we're going. I'm still happy with where everything's going.
Yep. Pilsy?
Entertaining game. Perfect tank loss. That's about it.
All right. If you haven't figured it out yet, Tank Watch season is well underway. We're still going to cheer on wins. We're not going full sadist mode, but we are going to start following around the league, these other teams, how they're affecting the Senators standings. Only 1 game in the National Hockey League tomorrow, so maybe this won't start just yet, although the Montreal Canadiens are playing in that game against the Winnipeg Jets. But starting Tuesday, hashtag Tank Watch at Sens Central on Twitter. You can follow the Martian on Twitter at Lalim's Martian and follow along because we are in the process of potentially moving the meetup spot pregame. There's 2 weeks until that friggin' weekend. I'm so fired up for it. And so stay tuned for all that on Twitter at Sens Centrals, where you'll get up to the minute stats, news, and information regarding that weekend. So thanks for joining us in the Postcast. We'll talk tomorrow on Locked On Senators for at Lalim's Martian and Brandon Pillar. I'm Ross Levitan after a 4-3 Ottawa Senators loss on home ice to the Winnipeg Jets.